what I wanted to do was kind of take all the stuff we used, and then in the vein of that first drill we did where it was like I go, you go with gripping, I wanted to do I go, you go randori. So randori in judo is sparring. If you think of like live rolls or like free rounds, but it's a step under shiai. Shiai is competition, so that's obviously 100%, safety's out the window, we don't care, we're winning. Underneath that is how you train for that, and it's randori. Underneath that is where I like to start people who aren't as experienced with the ground or are in some ways nervous about taking falls, which is understandable. So instead, you're going to approach your partner. For this evolution, I'll be Tori and he'll be Uke. So I'll be the one doing the throwing and he'll be the one receiving the throws. And it's receiving, it's like a gift. So we're going to start with a grip of your choice. We're going to make this as simple as possible for the first run through. So if you want to run collar sleeve, great. If you want to run the sleeve, if you want to run the collar, or if you want to start hands off, totally fine. And then you're going to tell your partner, hey partner, I am going to do whatever throw. For this instance, I'm going to do osotogari. I'm going to do that backwards trip throw, okay? And I'm going to start with both hands. And so then the timer's going to go off, beep, and you start. The start part is just like the grip fighting we did. Some resistance, not full go, but resistance and movement. So now he's moving, he's able to move around and like try to prevent the throw. And then at some point, I'm going to step and throw. And when I throw, he knows it's coming. He's going to concede that the throw is had, and then he's going to accept the break fall. Where people get injured in sparring in judo is that they don't concede the throw. They don't agree that the technique worked and they want to fight it to the end, and that's when you get hurt. If he knows already how this story ends, it's going to end in a backwards throw on Osoto on a single leg. We've already agreed that when that position is there, he's going to take the fall. So now there's no more fear, there's no more hesitation, and there's no more fighting. Right? Once I get to the Osoto position, he knows, oh, this is the end. This is where I fall. He falls, and I go, ah, man, that opening did work. I was able to achieve my victory. If you find that in a 30-second round, you're unable to complete a throw, either your technique is not where you think it is, and you need to go back to the drawing board about your setups, or your partner's playing a little too stiff, which is totally fine. If he tells me he's going to do Osoto, and then the timer goes off and we start moving, and all I do is this, good luck doing Osoto. It's not going to work. 30 seconds will go by, man, and you didn't do anything. Is that his technique's fault, or is that me not being a good training partner, allowing him to experiment with all the movements and stuff, right? So it really does take two to tango here, where you have to work together for everyone to get a little bit better. And part of that means that I have to be willing to accept the break fall from my partner. Make sense? All right. So we'll do that. Just a couple of rounds just to give you guys experience and some context to what we've been doing. So remember, we can pull in circles, top of the triangle, grip breaks, all that stuff is how we climb the mountain to the throw. So whatever the throw is that you've picked at the beginning of the round. All right? So go ahead and tell your partner what you're going to expect. Man, minute 30. There we go. All right. You got it?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Do the one with the single leg. What's the?
Oh, you want a single leg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you just start having me with the single leg?
All right.
I just want to work on the defense.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Hey, yeah.
This is what I do here.
Nice.
I don't know. That's the only problem when I do this, which is a good question, is it wonders if there's like multiple you want to do.
Yeah. I would just focus on one evolution.
Okay, so
right? So other person now is Tori. You go again. So what do you want?
Same thing. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to try to step through it because
Nice. Good. Hey! What I want to go over today is something we've already covered before, but it's called sumigaishi. So we're going to duck under our partner and throw them across our body to the other side. This works well off of this collar grip break because it works best from a 2-on-1 sort of Russian tie or Gregorian grip. But for us, for the sake, what we'll do is we'll come in, we'll go 2-on-1, we'll break, and we'll come in tight, right underneath. So we get our elbow underneath, drag the arm across the sternum here, and break our partner's posture down. Once we break them down, we want to take our head, much like in the Yoko Wakari move we did last week, we want to take our head and aim for across our partner's body. When we do that, we're going to give ourselves access to the top of their triangle here. So we're going to punch in, see my head's already leaning over. So there's a lot of pressure on his arm so he can't stand up too easily. I mean, he could if he like fought away and like stood up, maybe that would work. But before that happens, I want to be here and I want to break over. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my step in to the top of the triangle. When I step in to the top here, my inside leg is going to hook on the back side of this one, and then I'm going to throw him across my body as I sit through. So I'm here, I sit, hook, fall, and I push him that way. Keeping the arm almost in like this Kimura position so that I can leverage this to roll over, basically, what does Jeremy call this? Like threading the needle here, and I punch over, and I come up into side control, okay? So again, collar, 2-on-1, break, drag here, pressure down. I step to the top of the triangle, hook, sit, and the motion isn't this way. It's not tomonage, it's this way for sumi, right? So it's up and then across my body this way. And the secret is to make sure that his posture is broken off that arm drag. So if I'm here and I'm just carrying him up here, when I go to step in this way, I'm way too high and I can't bring him down. Even if I sit, right, I don't have the force to bring him down with me, and he's just going to be standing over me. So from the beginning, I need this hand on here, and I need to pull in and really pressure down on him so that I can step in and then hook this leg, right? And it's the outside leg is at the top of the triangle. The inside leg is our lever for sweeping him over. Okay? Questions? Not yet. Good. Yeah. Yep. Turn throw from this, where, again, still working on the collar break stuff. So as my partner gets my collar, so we're here, a lot of times this prevents me from doing big turn throws because as a right-handed player, right, all my turn throws are around this way. And so it keeps me from being able to get access to this because as I turn, he just keeps his frame and just pushes me away. So I can't close the distance on my hips. So what I want to do then is I want to attack the back hip, right? So from here, as soon as he gets this grip, right, we're going to come here, I'm going to break the grip, and then I'm going to secure my collar grip. I'm going to pull to the top of the triangle here. We step to the side, and we pull around. We pull around because now we're in the top of his triangle, which is the center of his gravity, so I'm going to be able to control where his body goes the most. Here with my collar grip, I'm going to have a strong grip. It's not going to be loose down here, and I'm not trying to climb up here. It's going to be right at the collarbone. From here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a big back step with my back foot. Here, I pull the sleeve across. My elbow is up because I want to be able to drive his head down. When I drive the head down, all I do is shift my weight to my outside leg, and I simply lift up this back leg. And I throw him over, right? Real simple, uchimata. It's not a traditional uchimata. I call it more like a mat return because all I'm looking for is I'm just looking for the ability to off balance my partner enough to where I can pull them across with the sleeve. So one more time, from here, again, breaking the grip, whether it's the down, the up, or the 2-on-1 in this case, it really doesn't matter because the idea is that I want to get rid of this, punch, and then connect my hand to the collar. I pull to the top of the triangle. As I pull here, I get him off balance so that now I have the opportunity to backstep. When I backstep, the elbow has to be above the head. If I leave the elbow inside, it's really easy for him to just crush in and I lose the momentum, and it's hard for me to break my partner's posture. Right, from here, trying to pull down, it's difficult. From here, it's much easier. Right, so if I punch in here, now all I'm doing is lifting this leg as I pull, and I send him over. Right, this one does not, there's no expectation this is gonna be like a high flying throw and you're gonna get this big turn and big slam out of it. But what it does do is it breaks their posture, puts their head down towards their knee, and then you're applying tension, and then just ripping that leg out so they have to fall over. Okay, so one more time. Here off the grip break. Connect the hands, pull, step to the top of the triangle. Back step, elbow up, and then we bring them right down to our feet. Okay? Good? Few extra steps on this one, go slow, but we'll work through it. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. So one thing we can do with this too, real quick, just as an aside before we go off to the rest of the part, when we do the Uchimata, if it doesn't work, so I'm here, maybe I don't have enough pressure, maybe I lifted and he's got good balance, all I have to do is take my foot, swing to the inside, and then pick the knee. Right, so if you get in this, and it's not uncommon to see and in the high levels of judo, where you get this kind of motion and people they call it can-canning, where you're here and you're hopping because you can't finish the throw. So in jiu-jitsu, if you get to that position here, bang, we just wrap. and just pick the ankle as they come through. Maybe, depends on the rule set. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. IJF, I don't think so, because you can't, but the real question is, can you initiate the attack? Because I didn't initiate a leg grab, it's a follow through. But January of next year, leg grabs are back. So judo's gonna take a whole new turn. So if you guys want to drill that real quick, we can. It's obviously pretty simple to do. Top of the triangle, back step in. When the leg comes up, we step and then pick the ankle. Right, and then just keep it, walk through, and then just make sure you go hip to hip so that you can knee on belly, side smash, actually use the position. One of the things that judo is good for is getting people to the ground. One of the things it's bad at is controlling them in the immediate aftermath if you don't practice it, if you don't train it. So on this one, just consider the control mechanism at the end. So in, up, down, pick, and then just make sure you get to the side foot. Okay? Yeah, just give it a shot, see what it looks like. It's fun. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're all looking for it. But we will go over though now is what to do in defense. So a lot of times, like the 2 moves we just did, very offensive, right? Like not like they're making people mad, but like they're on offense. So he's got this grip and I'm in control. I break the grip, I pull him to me, I put pressure, I throw him. Well, the other person you're facing on the mat is also doing that stuff, right? They also want to impose their will on you. And sometimes they get the better of us. So a very common technique we've seen is single leg, usually in the form of like a snatch single. You might see some people do sweep singles that are from far away, they hit real low and they pull the leg up. That's a different class. This one is for the pretty simple and routine snatch single, where let's just say I have a good grip on the collar and like I've started to move, and this guy doesn't like the way this feels, so he just takes his hands and puts them around my knee and lifts my leg. Right, we've probably seen this, right? We've been in this situation. So if the head's on the inside, then it's a single. If the head's on the outside, it's more of a high crotch and we have to do a different technique. I don't know, kids are not allowed to do the outside single, right? Because they'll get spiked when somebody does sumigaishi on them, which is what we're gonna do right now. But so here, I need to create a frame so that he can't put his head into my chest. If he gets in tight, my weight's going backwards, I'm probably gonna fall down. So first thing I have to do is I have to immediately get a frame. And my frame, I like to go right on the collar and then I use my elbow to wedge in with my forearm. Right, this is pretty much the frame that I want to use because now I can keep his head offline. And now my foot, what I do is I usually come outside and I frame it against his thigh. All right, so now this is pretty solid for me. Like I'm still in danger of getting taken like front and back direction, but usually him being able to like run me is now not really that possible because I can press, I can pull, I can push, I can react pretty well as well. So now that I've got this, what I need to address are the hands, right? So if people have this is a pretty simple break. I just come to the forearm, like somewhere around the elbow and above the wrist. I just pull that to me as I step through, right? That one's pretty simple. If they have a more aggressive grip, so they're underneath and they've got a gable grip, so put your hands, this one on top. Yep, right, so this way. If they have the other side up on the gable grip, flip your hands. This is really easy to break too, right? You just pull the wrist and you pop it off. So wrestlers will always have their inside hand on top because now as I pull the near hand, it actually makes the grip tighter for them. It's really hard to break this. So now what I need to do is address the hands, and I do that by framing on the hand, just like as if I had my collar sleeve grip. But here I frame, my foot's on the inside, and now I've got collection of the wrist. At this point, I have a decision to make. Depending on what my partner is doing, I can come inside here, hook, and then I'm just gonna step and throw. So I jump to the middle of the triangle here, pull, and I flick over to sumigaishi, inside, side control. Other one, he's got the leg up, right? He's got a nice gable grip. So I need to address the frame, so punch in, grab the sleeve, and I put my foot to the outside so I can create distance. From here, if I can't pull up, I can push down. I'm gonna put my leg back to the inside. As I do this, I'm gonna hop and then I'm gonna push my leg through like uchimata, right? I'm basically gonna like come down deep and swing. Because I have the wrist, so I'm pulling the hand to me and I'm pushing the head away as I jump in and push my leg through, okay? So here, first thing, frame, address the hands, foot on the outside. Got to get into this position. Now from here, I can pull. I can't get any distance on this. I'm going to swing my leg to the inside. Push through. Okay? The Sumigaishi is easier to do because it takes less partner help. The Uchimata, on this one, I have to have an aggressive partner. One thing that helps on this is when they're driving into you. So if we're doing this hopping motion and he's getting me to go, as he pushes me, his weight's coming forward and that allows me to jump, time it, and push through. Sumigaishi is like when somebody's trying to sit back, like people will grab that snatch single and then what they try to do is they put their head into your hip and then pull, like hike a football. Go ahead, yeah. Right, and they try to pull you that way. So when they sit and they're getting ready to do that, that's a great opportunity for Sumigaishi. Because we're here, got my frame in, I'm collecting on the hands. So now as I go to put my foot inside, he's like, oh, I'm gonna pull back. No, you're fine. But you pull back and then their momentum changes directions. Yeah, this one goes the other way because you're on this side. So if he had this snatch single, right, if he had this single, now it would be the same direction as we just did. But because I'm right-handed, my right leg is forward, so most often this is the leg that people are gonna try to single. So now everything's, I guess, different, backwards. Here, bang. I'm inside here, hook, and so now instead of going that way, you lift and open your leg the other way. Yeah, you just jump to the middle here, sit, and then as we sit, it goes this way. Cool. You good? All right, yeah, let's give it a shot. Ready, 1, 2, 3. So we'll go over this version. It's just something that I tend to do out of habit, I guess. So on the snatch single, right, like as soon as they come in, a lot of times like I'm catching and I'm already framing like we talked about, right? And I know that ideally, I want my foot to the outside and I want my shin braced on your hip. In the immediacy of the attack, if you look, my foot's in between his legs, right? I'm gonna shove my foot as high up his leg as possible and I'm gonna flex my leg. So my leg is straight and my foot is flexed. I don't want a pointed toe. And this helps negate a lot of times the classic wrestler finish where they try to high step over and then lift up, right? They lift up, or that once they get the leg in front, they can, figure 4 and then like take you down, they swing that way, whatever, right? So instead, what I want is my leg is straight, and even if it pushes me away, that's fine. Hip distance is gonna keep us safe. So I have the frame and I'm here, and then my foot's full, like real flexed hard. So I should be putting some strain on the grip as he tries to lift up on my leg. So now that offhand comes to the sleeve, just like we talked about, here somewhere between the elbow. I don't want to be above the elbow, I want to be below the elbow. And so as I pull on this, I'm just taking a big step through. Now my hips are connected. My head is below his with his arm pulled across here. All I have to do is drop to my knee and bring him over. And then we can finish from here. Yeah. Right into Kesugatami. This one's a pretty good defense if the leg holds, right? So if you get here and you can get to this position. Now, if they're strong and they start lifting up, like they bring, now we abandon and we wrap our leg inside, right? But in that moment where there's a lot going on, there's a lot of transition and flex happening because we're all trying to figure out how to stay on balance here. Frame, grip, step, connect. And as I connect, right, my hips hit him, and now I don't take a back step. All I'm doing is shifting and dropping to my knee. And just driving his shoulder in. And I guess the other option is that you could just go for like a big Hoshiguruma from here. So here, throw, bang here, and now instead of dropping, I just back step and lift. Yeah. But yeah. But in the interest of being able to control the transition to the ground, I like the idea of bringing his head to me and then falling to my near hip as I drive his shoulder to the ground and puts me right in topside. So if you guys want to try that real quick. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What I wanted to do was kind of take all the stuff we used, and then in the vein of that first drill we did where it was like I go, you go with gripping, I wanted to do I go, you go randori. So randori in judo is sparring. If you think of like live rolls or like free rounds, but it's a step under shiai. Shiai is competition, so that's obviously 100%, safety's out the window, we don't care, we're winning. Underneath that is how you train for that, and it's randori. Underneath that is where I like to start people who aren't as experienced with the ground or are in some ways nervous about taking falls, which is understandable. So instead, you're going to approach your partner. For this evolution, I'll be Tori and he'll be Uke. So I'll be the one doing the throwing and he'll be the one receiving the throws. And it's receiving, it's like a gift. So we're going to start with a grip of your choice. We're going to make this as simple as possible for the first run through. So if you want to run collar sleeve, great. If you want to run the sleeve, you want to run the collar, or if you want to start hands off, totally fine. And then you're going to tell your partner, hey partner, I am going to do whatever throw. For this instance, I'm going to do Osoto Gari. I'm going to do that backwards trip throw, fine? And I'm going to start with both hands. And so then the timer's going to go off, beep, and you start. The start part is just like the grip fighting we did. Some resistance, not full go, but resistance and movement. So now he's moving, he's able to move around and like try to prevent the throw. And then at some point, I'm gonna step and throw. And when I throw, he knows it's coming, he's gonna concede that the throw is had, and then he's gonna accept the break fall. Where people get injured in sparring in judo is that they don't concede the throw. They don't agree that the technique worked and they want to fight it to the end, and that's when you get hurt. If he knows already how this story ends, it's going to end in a backwards throw on Osoto on a single leg. We've already agreed that when that position is there, he's going to take the fall. So now there's no more fear, there's no more hesitation, and there's no more fighting. Right, once I get to the Osoto position, he knows, oh, this is the end. This is where I fall. He falls, and I go, ah, man, that opening did work. I was able to achieve my victory. If you find that in a 30-second round, you're unable to complete a throw, either your technique is not where you think it is, and you need to go back to the drawing board about your setups, or your partner's playing a little too stiff, which is totally fine. If he tells me he's gonna do Osoto, and then the timer goes off and we start moving, and all I do is this, good luck doing Osoto, it's not gonna work. 30 seconds will go by, man, you didn't do anything. Is that his technique's fault, or is that me not being a good training partner, allowing him to experiment with all the movements and stuff, right? So it really does take two to tango here, where you have to work together for everyone to get a little bit better. And part of that means that I have to be willing to accept the break fall from my partner. Make sense? All right. So we'll do that. Just a couple of rounds just to give you guys experience and some context to what we've been doing. So remember, we can pull in circles, top of the triangle, grip breaks, all that stuff is how we climb the mountain to the throw. So whatever the throw is that you've picked at the beginning of the round, all right? So go ahead and tell your partner what you're gonna expect. Man, 30. There we go, all right. You got it? What do you want? Oh, you want a single leg? Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. Okay. Hey, yeah. Nice. Yeah. I would just focus on one evolution, right? So other person now is the Tori. You go again. So what do you want?
Same thing. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna try to step through.
Nice. Good. Hey! Very nice. Ah, good. Hips were too far?
Too far out?
Yeah. So here, grab it real quick.
Okay.
So when you go for it, right, first don't pull the sleeve until you're stepping. It should be same time so that you get this connection, not this connection. If you get to here, this connection, throw sumi. Hips are back, throw sumi. Hips are in,
So
throw them
it's more
over.
about just having my arm making contact.
Yeah, because you wanna prevent here. So you wanna prevent the sleeve from moving.
Yeah,
So if I'm here and I'm trying to pull up, if I'm trying to pull your arm back, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So it's all about just controlling the leverage.
Okay.
So now, as you go, if you want to try to step through, pull and step. Yeah. So now you're way tighter.
Way tighter.
Yeah. Way easier to throw. Whoa. Great Kazushi. Holy cow. Context is everything. All right. Yeah, sure. I'll do Osoto.
Okay.
Got it. Nailed it.
Beautiful.
All right. Let's go one more. Ah. Let's go. Hush. Let's go. One more. Ah, fuck. Ran out of time. Thanks, man. But that's how it should work. No. Nobody does this. Mm-mm. This is something that I have curated over the years of learning how to teach new people how to do judo. So, yeah. So that's a taste of like 10% sparring, right? So that's great because now our brains are working. We're putting context together. From what I was able to see from you guys working, the only thing I would recommend is to add foot sweeps to set up big turn throws. So a lot of what I used to get past frames here is that, yes, the frames are keeping my hips away, they're keeping my shoulders away. What they're not doing is keeping my feet away. So even if they're not gonna work, they're not gonna do anything, they're gonna make him think and they're gonna make him change his orientation of his feet. So usually from here, if I've got top of the triangle, right, I just tag. Because if he changes, bang, Uchimata. Right, again, if I'm here and I can pull to the top of the triangle, here, hit, right? Didn't work, but it made his feet dance, and then that one got caught. That's how we make turn throws. That's how you make big throws work. So from the grip, bang, here, we pull so that we get him off balance. Now that his feet are shuffling, now we go. And we go small, and it's just like how you pass the guard, right? If I'm trying to pass Tim's guard and I try to jump right to his head, probably not going to pass his guard, right? You got to pass through layers. So you got to start at the wrist. You got to go to the elbow, shoulders, then you get to the head. Same thing in judo. If I want to get to the hips, I got to start at the feet. Hit, here, here, here. Now the hips are open. You find the way in, right? So that's what this kind of training will allow you to experiment with, play with, and find. So keep that in mind as we keep going and develop this stuff, that the more stuff that you can remember that we've done, the more you can put it in context with this. So as we get closer to comp series, I'm gonna start incorporating this training at the end, or maybe the beginning of every session, okay? All right, questions, comments, concerns? Everybody's good, healthy, no problems? All right, cool, thanks guys, that's all I got. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for letting me throw you around.
Oh,
Thanks. And